Marcus spends all his hard-earned money on the newest gadgets, takeout, hanging out with his friends. He doesn't care about managing his finances, no, that's too much of a hassle. But as the years went by, Marcus realized that this careless spending had caught up with him. His savings account was practically non-existent and he was deep in credit card debt. He finds himself crying in the arms of his financial advisor, which was appointed to him by the local government. We Spartans recognize the significance of managing our money effectively. It allows us to maintain our lifestyle, avoid unnecessary spending, so one day we can build towards great wealth. For so many years I had no idea how much money actually came in and what actually went out. I was basically a blind chicken when it came to, spending money. I had no idea how much money I spent on the supermarket, how much money I spent on doing nice things with friends, and how much money actually came in. Okay, maybe that's the only thing I knew how much money came in, but I've always had this problem. Wow, where does my money actually go? Because it seems to go faster than I can gain it. And I remember it started getting really annoying because I wanted to start saving again. I wanted to start investing and stuff like this. I wanted to manage my finances more correctly. And it was really frustrating because every time I started actually saving something, I had no money left to save because the money was just, I was spending more money than actually was going in. Although I thought I wasn't. I thought I was really good with money and stuff like this. And at that moment I started to manage my finances. I started to investigate online, okay, what is the best way I can manage my finances so I can actually keep track of what's coming in and what is going out. So this is what I have been doing for the last 2 years, and it has greatly increased my finances. So what I do, I keep track of my monthly expenses and income. So I know what is coming in and I know what is going out. And I do this every month. I've been doing this for 2 years now. And the funny thing is that by doing this, I get control of my finances. I can actually see, okay, I have spent too much on groceries this month. So how can I make sure it is not this much next time? So I have been doing this for 2 years now, and the funny thing is, last year I was working 3 days while I was still studying, and this year I have been working 2 days. And the funny thing is, because I was managing my finances, I was actually able to earn more money this year by working 2 days instead of 3 than last year, and I was able to keep a lot more money for myself, and I'm pretty proud of that. And because I was doing this for a while, I started talking to friends who weren't doing this and who were basically very bad with their money. So I wanted to help a friend who was always complaining about she didn't have any money and stuff like this. She was working 4 days a week but still had nothing left to spend. One day I sat with her and we looked at her finances and we filled out my Excel sheet where I manage my finances. And the thing we found out is that she spent around 500 or 600 euros every month on clothes, and like 500-600 euros on food every month, and takeout, all these crazy expenses. And she didn't realize this. She had no idea. She had no idea where her money actually went. And she was actually quite shocked. You could see it in her face. She was actually quite embarrassed about her spending habits. And it is in the word, like a habit. It is what you do every time, so you don't realize how extreme it might be. You might be spending 600, 700 euros on takeout restaurants every month and don't even realize how much of an impact it actually has on your finances. Why you should start managing your finances and take back control. So managing your finances can give you a huge amount of control. You're conscious about where your money is going. You can see every month where your money is going. Let's say, for example, the supermarket, right? You can actually see, okay, this month I spent this amount on the supermarket, this month this. And it might even be more interesting with funny activities, like actually going out with friends and restaurants and stuff like this. Some months you have like crazy months where you can actually see, well, I might have spent too much there. And the other month you have some money left. The other interesting thing is you can actually set goals according to this. Let's say you have spent way too much money on fun activities last month. You can actually say to yourself, okay, this month I will be spending $100 less on fun activities. And this is what I do for myself every month. Every month I fill in this sheet and I set a new goal for myself. And sometimes the goal is keep going like I'm going, or sometimes the goal is, okay, make sure you are within this range of spending. You are within 100 euros. Don't spend any more than 100 euros on groceries this month. One of the most interesting parts is you can actually compare every month with each other, but also every year. So you can actually see, okay, what was the thing I actually did this year that I didn't do last year, and what has been the impact of that on my finances. So I know that this year I was much more aware of my finances. I was setting goals. At the start of 2022, I made a plan. Okay, I wanted to work 1 day less. I wanted to work 2 days instead of 3 days. How am I gonna make sure that I keep the same amount of money? So I made a few adjustments to my finances. For example, I had a car. And I realized that if I just start working in the city instead of outside the city, I can just sell my car, which was around 3,000 euros. So this will give me 3,000 euros back, and it will prevent me from spending 250 euro a month on, let's say, repairs and gasoline. So this was one of the ways I saved a lot of money. And by comparing each month and each year with each other, if you did for a long amount of time, you can actually prevent lifestyle inflation. And lifestyle inflation is the process where if you would say first you earn 2,000 a month and then you started to earn 2,500 a month, what happens a lot is that you would think like you would be able to save a lot more, right, if you earn 2,500 a month. But what happens if that lifestyle inflation happens? So this means that people actually spend more. So they are not left with more money. They just spend more money on supermarkets, on parties and stuff like this. And this happens automatically. So you can actually see this happening and prevent it from happening. While if you wouldn't be managing your finances, you wouldn't even see it. You had no control over it. Another interesting thing is you can actually see how much you are spending and how much is actually left after spending. So I aim for a specific amount that is left after spending. Let's say 800 euro. This has been the average for me, what was left after spending, you know. So I started to realize, okay, I'm going to invest 800 euros on average in investments. So I said to myself, okay, the minimum investment every month is 800 euros. So if you start with this, the thing I would suggest is that you do this every month on the first of the month. No exceptions, because it takes around 20 minutes of your time to do. Maybe sometimes a bit longer. So I have got a Excel sheet for this. And what I would do is I just take my bank statement of the whole month and I fill out all the expenses and the incomes. So this is my Excel sheet. It is separated by the different months of the year, and this whole upper part is the income. So all the income you generate, right? And it is calculated in this green bar. If we go down, you see all the expenses. And I've got a few categories. The first one is supermarket, then entertainment, gasoline, and unexpected things. And then you got like rent and stuff. So the red bar is actually everything together. And on the bottom we have the money that is left after spending. And what I do, all the way on the right side, you will see the total of what I've earned and what is left. So, and according to that, I just make a plan and just put the plan down below. So remember, Spartans, as true Spartans, we have learned that managing our finances effectively is crucial to achieving our goals. We recognize the importance of tracking our expenses, budgeting and spending our money wisely to ensure a long-term financial growth and success. Spartans, prepare for glory.